Hello there everyone, and welcome to another Thomas & Friends wood review. This is a review on the Thomas & Friends wood Kevin. This is the most recent version of Kevin that has come out, and of course it is the 2019 version that is fully painted instead of the 2018 version, which was not fully painted, but I've mentioned that whole paint, non-paint, not fully painted stuff. It's pretty much old news now. So anyway, I got this because, well, for one thing, I really liked how this version of Kevin looks so accurate to the version of Kevin in the TV series. It looks so much more accurate to the original version of Wooden Railway Kevin, which came out in 2009. Speaking of which, I do happen to have my 2009 version of Kevin, which I got actually, I think, in 2010, I believe. But it is the 2009 variant, and Kevin was, you know, he got a couple of releases during the Wooden Railway line, a lot of redesigns, and this first one right here looks, well, pretty much nothing like how Kevin actually looks in the TV series. I mean, he's just crazily long like this, and he also has red wheels, but I don't think that Kevin ever had red wheels in the TV series. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that he ever had those red wheels. Now, there were some versions of Kevin that were released to pretty much more accurately match with how he looked in the TV series. I'm not quite sure why they originally started out with having Kevin be this ridiculously long version of Kevin. And at the time that I got this version of Kevin, I had no idea that they were actually going to make more accurate-looking versions of Kevin, like the Thomas Wood version of Kevin, for example. So I think that the Thomas Wood Kevin looks much more accurate to the TV series version. Of course, there were other Wooden Railway versions of Kevin that came out over the years that looked more accurate to the TV series version, but the Thomas Wood model is what I ended up getting. And comparing this to the original Wooden Railway Kevin, you can see that a lot of the details on Kevin's side that are, you know, not there on the original Wooden Railway version are also present on the Thomas Wood version, and they are also present on some of the other Thomas Wooden Railway versions of Kevin that came out after this one. And I think that works out a lot better and a lot more size appropriate. And yeah, well, that's pretty much all I have to say in regards to oh, another thing would be the faces. I mean, I don't think this looks anything like Kevin. I'm not quite sure what character that reminds me of more, but it certainly does not look like Kevin to me. I mean, does this face remind you of any characters that are not Kevin? That sort of smiley face right there. I'm not quite sure what characters that could be, but it certainly doesn't look like Kevin. Well, this, on the other hand, does look more like Kevin, having the more smiley-looking face and the freckles that Kevin has, that this Wooden Railway version lacked. Now, another thing to point out about the Thomas Wood version of Kevin is that it's not perfect. It's not a perfect representation of Kevin. I mean, I think that Kevin is supposed to have outer black wheels, and they are just yellow on the inside, but on the Thomas Wood model, they are completely yellow. Although you could just take a black Sharpie's marker and color the outside of it. I don't have any plans on doing that, but you could do it if you wanted to. So yeah, that is my review on the Thomas Wood Kevin, as well as a comparison between it and the original wooden railway Kevin that I have had since 2010. Now, another thing that I have just recently gotten is this wooden railway road crossing. I didn't get a lot of road pieces. In fact, at the time of the recording of this video, this is my only roadway curve piece. So I didn't really have a lot of road pieces, but I do plan on getting more of the roadway curve pieces and a few more straights for making the roadways. I also want to get those ramp pieces, the little slope pieces, kind of like this for the roadway, but I'm having trouble finding any on eBay, but I'm sure that at some point they will have some of those listed, so I can actually put ramps right there for the road vehicles to go on. And I certainly don't want it to be like all one long roadway, because that would take up a lot of roadway pieces. But hopefully I should be able to do something like that. I primarily got the roadway crossing for when I do my review on the much later version of the Roundhouse set. I've already done a review on the Roundhouse set from the 90s, but I do plan on doing a review on the one that came out much later, and this is just one of the steps in getting all the pieces that I need for doing that. But yeah, but for right now, this is what I have for the roadway pieces. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.